team in the world. Now they're not.
Well, we're going to find out our answer if NRG's found out their answer as we get into game one. The best of five first match, or first round of the Swiss here, and that's the wrong way for the ball to go.
Tough start for NRG off the rip, but it's okay. There is a lot of things riding, I think, on games one and maybe even game two, depending on how game one goes for NRG. Because I feel like you make a swap from Sizz, who they all really liked and was like a big hype guy for them, and they really liked that, you know, kind of emotional support they have. So whatever reason you have to make that change, you kind of go into the next event a little uncertain about what's going to happen. You don't know what the flow looks like between the new group at all, and there's a lot riding on this early game set. And if it goes poorly in the first game or two, I might just see FURIA walk away with this one in my head.
You always wonder the nerves for Johnny as well, knowing people are going to wonder what's he bringing to the table here, and he's going to want results too. So far as the first minute passes, we find no goals for either team. NRG making a push, but a fight back here from FURIA as they're looking for their offense, but neither team is finding any kind of real opening. A lot of back and forth from corner to corner. That might be the chance. Squishy doesn't get there in time.
Great save from Card, and Card's kind of a guy I'm looking at defensively on FURIA. Looking at the FURIA tape from last regional, it didn't feel too good for me defensively for him. Kind of felt a little hit or miss on some challenges, so I want to see Card really get in there and get locked in on the defensive side of things and tighten up for FURIA this regional.
NRG all spread out for an attack here. Garrett leads the charge. Justin just trying to make sure there's no push from FURIA, but they're finally on to the blue half. A little bit too far though, and Justin's gonna have a chance to get out. He's gotta flip off the ceiling, but again, no actual threatening shots from either team. Maybe NRG's starting to find some though.
It's just the possession war right now. It's a lot of dump and chase, and not too surprised to see NRG handle that very well. I mean, for a lot of their play time in North America, we've kind of seen them sit back and say, yeah, bring us the ball. We'll let you come at us. We're going to play defense. And FURIA trying to get aggressive, switch things up. They got the demo in the net, but Kyle missed the ball in the wall. So the drive stalls out for FURIA, and now they're right back to the drawing board on defense.
Justin trying to lead the charge. Some great 50s. Squishy couldn't set up anything for Garrett. They end up back down on the defensive half as FURIA still looking for that opening that's just not presenting itself on NRG's defense. Maybe they'll find it here. Card out center. John can't get it to him. Justin will try to work his magic back down to the other end of the field. It's not there. Shot. There we go. And that's going to be a first goal going to FURIA.
Look at Kyle bobbing and weaving, steals it from Justin, gets aggressive and tries to beat Squishy and gets behind the ball to pop it to the top of the box. That was smooth from Kyle around the corner. Great pass and better placement to beat the last man from Yanks.
First goal finally grabbed from FURIA 3 minutes into the match. They couldn't find many chances. NRG was doing a good job of just fizzling out FURIA offense as much as possible. But all you need is that one good opportunity. They take it, and it's NRG fighting from behind now. They start from the defensive half.
And it's here really where I start to wonder what's going to go wrong. Kyle's going to score a second one from the middle of the box here. I mean, Justin's just trying to control the ball and just straight up loses the 50 against Card, just stuffs it in the box. And Squishy getting caught on the backboard, didn't have the time to really get the speed behind him to get all the way across the net, and NRG just kind of flop over and let a second goal in. Tough one to happen, and that's what I'm worried about. If NRG doesn't get their grips into game one and come out all firing, they kind of slip behind and they just don't have enough time or the ability to break down FURIA, and sets a bad tone for the whole series for him usually, as there's number 3. Yanks just crushes it.
Yeah, that's not what you want. Justin all over the field, but he gets the wrong touch here. No follow-up. Jonks just says, yeah, sure, I'll take it. Floodgates open. Let's keep it rolling.
This stuff just popped off Justin's cart a little too hard as he was trying to catch it. Tried to fix it, overjumped it. Compounding errors. Unfortunate. Happens to the best of them. NRG down 3, maybe only 2. What a bounce off that crossbar. Oh my gosh.
Straight back out to Squishy. He tries a rebound. There's a shot. Crossbar.
Oh, no.
It's going to go off the defending player. And finally, at least a goal is in, Achieves.
You know, I like that Squishy went up and made it look like he was going to try and stretch that, because it does force Furia to kind of sit there on the goal and see where he goes with it. And as soon as Squishy, I mean, he didn't have any intention of actually going for that. You could see him just straight boost away from the ball. It was just buying time for his teammates to come up and give them an opening to make something happen. Now, of course, they didn't execute. It took an own goal to get the ball to the post, but NRG don't care about that. As long as it goes in their favor, they're happy with it.
You take those. See if they can take another. They still have a minute left. I mean, it's possible to climb back. Getting one goal at least on the board is huge for the opening game. You don't want to get shut out. NRG on a push now. Justin was looking for it. He'll try to get Frisky in the goal line there. That's going to be an opening for Garrett. All three players getting involved. Only one goal down now.
That's good, but is it too little too late? Like the approach from Justin, take the clear away from Kyle. Give up the body for it. If you get demoed, who cares? As long as they don't get the clear, leave it in the capable hands of Captain America himself. Garrett G slots it bottom corner, 30 seconds. NRG got to find something.
They're looking for a hard push. Justin already into the offensive half. Garrett G trying to make sure Furia is thinking about their attack, but does die out. Furia gets a little bit of control in their own corner. We'll see if they can push it out. It looks like they're struggling to find a push past midfield. They just have to hold on, though, as long as they don't get scored on. They take game number one. Final push here. No boost for Justin, and that looks like their play might fizzle out unless Garrett can set something up. Giannis going to put that to the ground, of course. And a potential comeback in that final minute of gameplay achieves, but Furia does hold on. They're going to grab game one.
Went the way I thought, you know. Great job, NRG, but you allowed a couple goals, and then there's just not enough time on the clock to get the job done. It's always a tough way to start the day, and luckily it's a long series, 5 games. Definitely no room for a lot of errors, but you can't afford to give one up here. And Gibbs, I don't know about you, but that one went about as I thought it would.
Yes, but it was the defensive energy was just a little bit off, a couple missed touches, and that was the main difference because they battled back at the end. Some updates around the league. A lot of the favorites are winning. Actually, all the favorites so far that are updated are all up 1-0, and that includes Axel is down 0-1. So Achieves, watch out there. But I'm watching Optic and Complexity. Complexity, they just took game one as I was watching it, so they're up 1-0 there. So that's the first underdog who has taken a lead so far.
Does NRG count as the underdog here? Or is
I think barely.
Here?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, I would say barely. Like Furia are favorites, I would say, for sure.
Hear that, Twitch chat? 55%.
Well, I mean,
55% of you are wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Making enemies early in the day.
Sorry, Twitch chat. Sorry, I apologize.
Well, we'll see if NRG can turn things around here in game 2. It was relatively close until one goal went in for Furia, and then they just kept piling them on. NRG did bring it back to a 1-goal game, but they're going to make sure to shut down.
Within one, though. That's what you're really looking for. You want to see NRG come out here in game 2, really stick it offensively to them, and that's what's going to happen here. They actually float one over the middle of the pitch here. Kyle probably should have got a hand on that, and Squishy, that's just great timing to pop that one up off the backboard. Card, you try your best to get to that one, but it's just too quick.
Yeah, you see, the first one makes sense. Squishy had a good play, but then 2 defenders behind him probably should be able to get that out. So NRG takes the lead the first time in the series, and early on in game 2 as well, only 20 seconds in. See if they can extend that lead. There's a push here. Furia trying to equalize as quick as possible. 50 from Kyle. Follow from Young. But again, back and forth in that corner. Both teams trying to get possession. Finally, it's NRG pushing out. Garrett G leading the charge. There's Justin and Squishy now looking to set something up.
That needs a little more communication there. Both Squishy and Justin wanted to go in and fight for that ball in the corner, and it just kind of leads to a small breakdown in positioning. Of course, in that instance, it doesn't amount to anything, but that type of miscommunication happens at the wrong time. You end up leaving someone in a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-1, and that's just not a situation you want to be in.
Good speed from Justin. Make sure Furia doesn't push past midfield. they'll finally get the touch they needed. A pinch up the wall puts them down into the blue half. NRG setting up their defense. They don't need it for long as Justin gets a hard clear.
Like to see FURIA really kind of reassert a little bit of physicality in that net, slow down the counterattack. One-on-ones here for NRG, and big bite taken out of Kaio.
Jan up to the skies. He's got a flip reset. He'll get it past one. Squishy was sitting in the net patiently. Shut down that play. As they push down the other end. NRG now on offense.
Kind of reverted back to the middle of game one, where it's really just push, clear, push, clear. See if you can hang on to the ball, someone make a play. And just kind of waiting to see who makes that first outplay to really grab control of this game.
Some passing from FURIA, because they know at the halfway mark here, they're still down a goal. They'll need to equalize. They don't want to tie up this series. 50 from Garrett, preventing a shot. Justin trapping this one properly, although takes that away from Garrett. Squishy will have to quickly get up and get that out, otherwise a push could have come. Flip reset. John will make the save. Card with a hard counter attack, but loses control. He was going for the bump.
Yeah, made a good adjustment. You were right. He definitely realized he lost control and tried to make the most of it. Great adaptation from Justin. Give himself a chance to still be on offense here, but I mean, to be fair, it's not like they have to score here. FURIA is the one who's got to make something happen. So ball's in their court.
It's on the other side right now. Garrett is gonna snipe one. Bar down skis. There's 2 goals for NRG.
Oh, every now and again you get one out of the corner. Just takes a perfect skip, makes a beautiful read, and doesn't hesitate. That is a classic shot from Garrett G. Huge cut across the box, top of the net. Tough save.
Banger of a shot, but here comes an attempt. Kaio almost found one of his own. They're still sitting. Big old goose egg on the scoreboard there. Final minute slowly approaching. Things are starting to get physical. FURIA trying to force an opening. NRG now will look to hold on to this lead. They didn't need one before, but they definitely don't need another goal now. If they can find it, they'll go for it, but FURIA, a strong push will be needed.
It's really where you expect to see FURIA start diving at just about everything as fast as they can in the midfield. That style that South America is known for, and it's where they come up with some of their most inspired pushes. Trying to get physical on the goal line, Garrett G keeps it at bay.
That's precisely it. It feels like the tempo has just changed for FURIA. They've been holding onto that midfield. Jan with a flip reset. Beautiful play. There's one towards their goal.
Great lift from Kaio. Give him the space to work, and NRG knew they had to go out and get it. You don't want him to come up with the ball, because more often than not, he dodged up, hit dive dodge around everybody. You can't get around him. The Yanks carves him up, gets him back in it. 42 seconds. Just like NRG in game one, though, is it too little too late?
We'll talk about that craziness that we're used to from them. That's it right there. Fantastic mechanical play, but quickly that gets shut down. Squishy with his own dribble off the wall.
Squishy caught him out. Great job manipulating the timing challenge to retain control, and Yanks really needed Card to get a piece of that one coming off the wall, and Squishy just a little too fast. Gonna secure game 2 for NRG, barring some wizardry on this kickoff.
30 seconds left. 2 goals down for FURIA. NRG is maintaining control of game number 2. But as we saw, a bit of a pace change for FURIA. We'll see if they can carry that through the rest of this 10 seconds and then into the next game with 2 goals left. This is going to be the end of this one. We'll tie up the series. It was best of 5 going 1-1 NRG FURIA.
Well, okay. I wanted to know if they were going to be nice enough to let him have one last chance at it. Not today. NRG righting the ship. Great job there in game 2. It started off, pretty nice, obviously. No one's allowed to complain when you get to score one so quickly. And they kind of just sat on it for a while. And that's a style that very much suits NRG, as we discussed in Game 1. They're happy to let people just come at them on defense, and thankfully it doesn't feel like they're too threatened by FURIA outside of the insane mechanical approach from Yanks there.
Gibbs, bit of an explosion at the end there from FURIA, but NRG still taking it.
I knew I was right.
Your prediction was, I guess, has some ground to stand on.
It has some, at least. At least it's not a sweep. So scores across the board, though, really quick. A lot of the favorites are doing rather well. 2-0s for Gen G, G2, and FaZe so far. Rogue was up 1-0 on Space Station, but Space Station, they just won game 2 4-0. But Rogue, they scored the first goal in 5 seconds in game 3. So that one's a thing to watch, I would say. And then obviously Optic Gaming and Complexity, got to talk about them because that's the other like featured match, I would say. They are tied now 1-1 there. So some favorites doing well and a couple close here. So I'll let you guys know what's going on throughout those.
Thank you, Gibbs. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Nice
Goodbye.
guy.
It's just a swell dude, you know? Oh, we got game 3 going on right now. Wow. And Card, he's like, I'm swell too. Look at this.
Such an awkward situation. I mean, yeah, Justin forces Yanks up off the backboard, but Squishy just can't figure out the read. Garrett G, I think he rotated rightly into the net. He took the long way around to try and get on the outside so he could come back across the other way, but that all hinged on making a tough read off the backboard, and Squishy not equal to it. And here comes FURIA again.
Yeah, I was wondering if that energy burst we saw at the end of last game was going to carry over. And it looks like it has. NRG is definitely going to have to be aware. This might be a different FURIA from the early bit of this series.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my gosh. Okay. I always get scared when I see the big pinch clears across the net because I know you have to make a perfect read when you're rotating back with the ball over your shoulder like that, but I should never doubt NRG in that situation. I've seen him do it too many times.
NRG looking for a little bit of a snipe there. That might be a chance. Justin to Garrett. He finds the shot. Card somehow manages to be in the way of that one.
I mean, I don't hate the pass into the corner because, like, more often than not, people are thinking the pass into the middle is the dangerous one and you get pulled out of position, but Card, such poise on defense. What a stop.
Especially with Squishy on the attack, too.
Yeah, they have 3
come out of any way, yeah. It's a terrifying moment to hold your ground like that. It's huge. They'll go down the other way. Justin manages to scoop this one up into the corner. Card on the attack. Kyle to follow up. There's Jan just waiting, seeing the Squishy has possession. Tries to buy enough time for his teammates to get back, so NRG can't have a push. And they don't. They'll have to let that one fizzle out. Now a chance shot. That's going to be over top of Garrett. Kyle gets credit for the goal.
Love to see Kyle get aggressive here and really try and chase this one. If it gets cleared, it gets cleared. So be it. But I'm going to try and be the first one there, and the aggression pays off. He just gets the nose ahead of Garrett G.
I'm going to chime in here real quick, guys, on some score updates. FaZe, Gen G, and G2, they were all up 2-0. Every other match is now a best of 3. All the other ones are tied 1-1. So go check out some team streams because there's going to be probably a lot of game 5s in this round 1.
4,000 tabs. Have them all open.
Use all the internet.
Make the rest of your family hate you. They can't watch their shows.
Suck up the bandwidth.
Approaching the halfway mark here. FURIA in control. NRG trying desperately to take it back. Squishy goes for a read on a touch there, but without boost, he'll be out of the play for a little while now. And there's a demo attempt. FURIA trying to take players off the field. Squishy up. We'll see what he can do with it. Soft touch. That should be pushed to the side by FURIA. A pop center. Justin a little bit too close. Card will have a chance now. Move that down the field with a flip reset. He does exactly that. NRG on the back foot now, but at least with possession. Nope.
Oh, okay, yeah. Squishy really trying to get inside the mind of Card. Little did he know it was the other way around. Card had that one on lock, stole it away, but still NRG on the counterattack. And unfortunately, they're not able to handle an awkward sequence of clears from FURIA. They end up spiking it off the ceiling and kind of have to reset, buying a lot of time for FURIA to recover on defense there.
feels like they're so close a lot of times, so there's no one home right now. 1 goal back for NRG.
What happened here? Okay, clear over the corner. Kyle tries to cut it down. He's just beat, and that means that what? It must have been Card deep in the corner there. He must have got bumped because I don't know how there's no one back there. I'm pretty sure he got shoved.
He was with another player. I didn't see if he got bumped or if it was just a misplay on going for a boost. But yeah, you expect someone to be back, especially with Card the way he's held his ground on defense already.
That's why that insurance goal from Kaio is so big. Just a little well-timed aggression. Pays off in spades. You have a little bit of breathing room, and I only have to live for 80 more seconds or so.
See Squishy so ready to turn onto offense. The second one of his teammates get a chance. Justin rushing up to stop another goal there from FURIA. They stay on offense, though, as they move the ball back and forth, post to post. Garrett doing whatever he can to take one of those attackers off the play, and they'll finally get to midfield. But for how long are they going to stay out of their end?
Not
long at all.
But it's not enough. Justin's so fast. That's the second big clear he's made, recognizing that he needs to get up and take something away from FURIA. He's been a great defensive player for NRG in the past couple of sequences, but defense is not what they need as Justin throws another one off the goal line.
We're seeing that tempo build up again for FURIA, though. Even though they're a goal up, they're going for some fun plays on offense, and they've held that midfield for quite some time. NRG with a player gone now.
The worst bounce.
More time off the clock. No extra goal for FURIA, but they're certainly making NRG struggle to find that equalizer themselves. A block chance. 4 seconds left. Pop center. Garrett will have to turn on that. He'll make a read from Card, but of course that goes to the ground, and FURIA taking the game.
Take a breath. That's a stressful one to get through. I mean, you're thinking, cool, we got it over them, and then that ball just took the worst skip off that top corner. That NRG net prevented them from putting in another insurance goal, and then you knew NRG is going to bring all the guns to bear in the final seconds, and just got away with it. So NRG, honestly, they're not looking as shaky as they've looked in round 1 before. They're actually, in general, looking pretty solid. It's just a matter of FURIA's made a couple of really nice pushes.
Yeah, Gibbs, it looks like NRG they've had a couple chances on offense where it's just slightly, a touch goes slightly out of control or out of their way, but they are definitely, as the Chief said, not looking shaky. They do look like they have something to achieve on the field.
I knew I was wrong all along. You know, every game's going to be different. You know, FURIA won that one, so now I'm in the dumps. But NRG won the one before. I was very
emotional
happy.
roller coaster.
Really quick, we have 3 teams advancing so far. FaZe, Gen G, and G2, the top 3 seeds, all 3-0. FaZe won their match against Ghost 10 goals to 1, so that was pretty impressive. G2, 10 goals to 2 in their match, or 9 goals to 2, so pretty dominant there. Space Station Rogue, Space Station, they came back and won game 3, 3-1. Optic versus Complexity, Optic won game 3, so they're up 2-1 there. So those are your updates.
Love to see Optic.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, especially looking at FaZe with that dominance, 10-1. It's like, hey, they're at the top of the leaderboards right now for a reason, and they're looking to go for that clinch into a grand final. But we do head into potentially the last game here. FURIA on match point, up 2-1 against NRG, who achieves, again, we said, looks like they are still knowing what they want to do on the field. They're just not connecting with the back of the net as much as they need to.
And Yanks is really trying to put them through their paces on defense as well. But here's where you really need to see the big game 4 out of NRG. It doesn't have to be a blowout. NRG doesn't really care exactly what the score line is here as long as they feel like they're in control. They've spent so much time going back and forth with each other in the first 3 games, and clearly that's not a recipe for success for them, it would seem here. So you really want to see NRG come out, shift gears again, try and get aggressive, try and take things away, and say, look, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to hit some world.
Confusion on defense from NRG. Might not be the start they want, but the ball stays out of the net at least. Pressure's not off them yet. FURIA in control, the opposite of what NRG is looking for. And there's going to be the shot. Delay on that one. Kaio puts it in.
Great shot from Kaio. As you mentioned, a lot of space to work with up the sidewall, and he went deep. with that reset off the ceiling. He went so far down. Justin thinking he's going to try and tuck it into the top of the net. Kyle let it go even further. Just found the seam in the middle of it on the left side. Great shooting.
Chance though for Justin. He centers that. Garrett is going to find it quick. Equalizer for them only a few seconds later.
Love the counterattack from NRG. Great kickoff. Justin goes hard to try and kick it out. And look at the pass. The perfect read with the bounce. Lean the nose back. Throw it straight across the box. Look who's there. Garrett G to tie things up. That's what you want to see from NRG. This should be a give and take game.
Almost another give though for Furia. They're on offense. 2 in net. 2 on attack. There's the shot. Justin. Great read, but a follow-up. Not going to find its way towards the net. Midfield still held by Furia. Kyle looking for a stealing touch. He's not going to get that. He'll go to the backboard instead. Squishy pushes it out. Justin on the follow-up. How's he doing for boost, though? He can't get to that. Garrett, last defender. And Justin's behind him now, but he gets caught in a weird place. And yet again, an attack for Furia, but a hard clear for NRG.
That's really what you don't like to see. I said I want to see NRG in control of this game. The scoreline doesn't necessarily matter, but as long as they're feeling like we're executing on the pushes, you don't want to be sitting over here on the defensive half, because while Justin is an excellent defender, as are Squishy and Garrett G, they're great support behind him. No one cares how good at defending you are. You know Furia's got the mechanics to crack you, and they need to be the ones controlling pace of play. So this should be like, look, send it all, get as aggressive as you can, force them to beat you with a sick read or some type of big play, and you kind of just go, you know what, fair play, you hit it.
Furia starting to wisen up to those infield passes from NRG. Intercepting them left and center, but off the ceiling, Garrett tries to roll one low. Jan on the inside out. Keeps it away. NRG was probably hoping that for sure that one at least went in. The limited opportunities they're getting. Kyle shot. Garrett coming off the backboard to save that. Both teams poking and poking away at each other as we sit tied.
I don't know how Yang stayed in control of that play. How awkward he hit that, but Furia doing a nice job always finding the right place to put the ball, getting some big boost steals in the corner here, trying to limit NRG's counterattack chances, giving them the best chance to be the ones driving pace of play. He might hit that.
Ooh, Jan might get that. You're right, he does. 50-50 for him into the net. A hard save attempt, but Jan pushes through.
Man, you know, if there's one thing that I think Jan may be the best in the world at, it is going up to start an air dribble and never getting bumped off the ball. I don't know how that guy does it so much with how quick some of these players are in the league to go for a challenge in the air. Man, the amount of times he manages to never get bumped out of it and give himself a look is just stunning.
See if they can get another push now, intercepted by Garrett G. Minute 30 left. Match point still for Furia. NRG trailing a goal, might be trailing another snipe to the top left corner.
Kyle with a big goal, 90 seconds. NRG not able to find the pressure. And what a shot. Didn't really have any time to adjust, had to set the angle, try and hit it as hard as he could. It was perfect. Excellent read from Kyle.
Kyle coming into this weekend, 30% shooting percentage. He's showing it right there. Beautiful placement. 2 goals down. NRG not finding Achieves, I think, what they wanted out of this game 4.
Not the level of control at all. Outshot 11-3 so far with only 45 seconds left. You may see a few trickle towards the Furia net, but in general, gotta love to see Furia come out here and really control pace of play. That's what you'd like to see against a team that, you know, historically was like, look, they're great, but they just don't have the stability behind them. So to see him be able to sit here and lock down against some of the strongest players in North America, it should bode very well for them going forward as well.
15 seconds left. I believe this is going to be done for NRG in round 1 achieves FURIA. Starting with a little bit of back and forth with NRG. It looked like it might be a closer series than it is.
Cards says, no, we're done.
Get out of here.
Card. Come on, man. Stats. We need the stats. We need the numbers. I'm chiming back in. Furia, well done. It pains me to say I got my pick wrong, but it pains me more because I got some score updates. And there's only 2 underdogs that are winning their series right now. And it is Dignitas and Axel, both of your picks at the start. So well done here by Furia. They take down NRG yet again, but this time in more convincing fashion in only 4 games instead of 5. But there's some other series right now. Overtime, Space Station and Rogue is going on game 4.